So, yeah, so we were just in the middle of a story that Stephanie was trying to get me to write out the word for the song Maybe Today so she could tattoo it. And I did it a couple of times last night, but she wasn't very, she's like, oh, it'll be fine. And I did it 3 times, and she goes, well, why don't you work on it and get back to me?
Well, he did try cursive as well, but he didn't even know.
I couldn't even get past the M and the A. Cursive to me is just like,
What did the girl
completely foreign. I was like, do you make 3 humps or 1?
what did the girl Rose? What did she want you to write?
Life Extraordinary.
Life Extraordinary. That's right.
We had a girl that was like, I want Barry to write Life Extraordinary because I want my sister to get that tattooed on her.
Which isn't even the lyric in the song, is it? Life Extraordinary.
You know, it's paraphrasing.
That's my cursive. And that doesn't look very good either.
That's okay.
You like that?
Well, it's not about how awesome your handwriting is.
Okay.
Or is it?
Or is it?
Dun dun dun.
Well, you find out if I take pictures of the tattoo and it's not anything like that.
You spell F or C-H?
C-H.
Okay.
Alright, so I guess I'll just ask questions. Alright, so first question actually is for my friend Mike, who is a huge fan, and it's actually for Terry. He wanted to know if you have any future plans to shave the stash.
Shave the stash. I do it every now and then. I start over again, and Barry says no. Every now and then I shave the stash and start over again, or in the winter I grow a beard, a la Mr. Privet, and then, you know, it gives you, it's nice to just start with a beard and then shave it down to a stash as opposed to just trying to grow a stash is tough. So occasionally you get crooked when you're shaving. It's like, uh-oh, now I'm really lopsided, so I've got to start over again. I'll just grow a beard and then I'll start fresh. So occasionally you have to wipe the slate clean and start fresh. But I don't know. I might shave at some point. Might get a haircut at some point. Never know.
Don't do that. When we were in college, he had his freshman picture was this high and tight.
Had hair shorter than John's.
Marine haircut.
Clean shaven.
He was like all kind of like a jock from high school. So like he had this big neck. Doesn't look like he did this.
No. So now you guys all went to college together, right, in Virginia?
3 of us did.
Three of you guys?
Yeah.
Awesome.
The band started there. So our original drummer and bass player, we all met there and started. After we gave them the boot, we got the good guys in the band.
Yeah.
We had to fight to the death.
We did.
Yeah.
To get this gig.
Yeah. Like literally had to fight the old bass player and drummer to the death. God rest his soul. Yeah. There'll be others. Younger, fresher, stronger. Cycle continues.
Every year and a half or so, there's a challenge in the gauntlet.
Barry, John broke his leg.
Put him down.
No pressure though, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, my friend Heather, we've been a fan from way back, and she said you guys miss playing frat parties for free beer.
Oh, yeah.
She said that, or she asked us?
Well, she asked me to ask you
The
that.
answer is no, we don't miss playing for beer. But those were some fun days back when...
Now actually we get beer and money.
Sometimes. Well, usually we get one. Well, yeah. Yeah, those were fun days when we started. That's all. That was 99% of our business when we were in college. And
Fraternity
parties, and they had, of course, the other campuses had kegs back then, and so it was just ridiculous because everybody was having bands and parties, and you could just fill your calendar with them. And then when all of the colleges went, dry or BYOB overnight or outlawed kegs, like all of that work dried up, literally. Which was good because then it just forced us to get out of that. It's a cycle. It's just a cycle, and then forced us to kind of get out on the road and start playing cities and be a grown-up band.
Yeah, quit playing Red Hot Chili Peppers covers. Actually,
Learn to
write
write
some songs.
Right. Well, I was just going to ask you, once that all kind of dried up, were you at a point where you were able to kind of do your own thing and go out on your own?
Yes and no. We when we started in college, yeah, we just learned a handful of covers, and we did that for, while we were there, and then a little bit out of school. But when we decided to kind of make the break,
hold on, you guys, my other band's starting. I need to go. Can you hear? I need to go do my guitar solo.
Can you hear okay?
Yeah.
So,
Whether after
so anyway, so when we decided to make the break from being kind of doing the cover thing and start doing our own material, we lost over the course of a year pretty much everybody that had been coming to see us, and had to rebuild. So we went from playing for 300 or 400 or 500 people in kind of our local cities to going back to like playing for 30 people that were willing to endure like our original music only until we were able to develop it where people actually liked the original stuff better than being a cover band. Evolution.
Yeah, exactly. Well, another one of my questions was going to be like the evolution of your music from, from when you first started, and then you went into kind of the Celtic music, and then kind of phased out of that into some different stuff. Is that more of like an evolution of what you guys are going through at the time, or is it just kind of, you've been there, done that, let's try something different?
There's a little bit of both, I think. Yeah, everybody kind of gets bored easily, and we write, a lot of different styles on a lot of different instruments. So it changes from day-to-day, writing session to writing session. We try not to get boxed into a style. So we might have a handful of bluegrassy sounding stuff, or a handful of Irishy sounding stuff, or some straight up, pop rock tunes, and it doesn't really matter. We'll just keep writing and do what feels good. Barry writes the lyrics then to the music, and sort of whatever comes to the surface and is feeling really sort of inspired at the moment is where we go. So I don't know that we've so much of an evolution is just a progression, not necessarily forward, but because I think we're circling back around on all of those styles too at the same point. We're not like, oh, we're never going back. Like, oh yeah, here we are back again, sort of similar to where we were at this point in our career, but then next week we're going to be, always moving a little bit. Sounded like Barry was going to say something. He went,
It wasn't a conscious decision to get away from it so much as it was just, hey, this batch of songs is better than this other stuff that we wrote that that has the Celtic influence. So it's like, well, do you want to just put lesser songs up because it sounds like what you just did for fear of losing your audience, or do you just keep putting out what you think at that time is the best representation of where you are musically? So that's all.
That's awesome. I have a lot of respect for that. It's better than, we have to keep going with what they're doing because it works.
And you'll look it back and you'll be like, okay, well, this isn't a step. Well, or it didn't work. People didn't respond, or maybe this isn't, in hindsight, the best song. Yeah, just kind of got to follow that.
You guys have been on tour how long now? How long has this particular tour been going?
this is about a 7-week tour, almost 8 weeks. We had 1 week off in the middle for a quick vacation. We did basically the East Coast and the South. Took a quick week breather, and then off to the West Coast, and then back up here to the Northeast to finish off. So we finish on Saturday. Will be the end of almost 2 months continuous.
You guys like the constant traveling?
Yeah, it's been good. There's been a lot of miles this tour. We've been really busting butt to cover the entire country. It's a big country, and there's a lot of places to hit, so you want to play places, you want to play every city, but it's like in order to not tour all the time, you have to, drive 500 miles a day and just do the big stuff. Carter, expecting a baby next week, he and his wife, so we were like, we got to get the tour in, obviously get Carter home and everybody home in time to do that. So some of it was backward planned. My wife and I are expecting a baby in December, so the winter tour is planned accordingly as well. It's like, okay, we got to get all this stuff in before then, so we can't tour for